All right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. You're watching Rome Knows Tech, and I'm your host, Ron Wilkerson, coming to you from the city of Houston, down here in the ever so hot but yet stormy today. Man, it is crazy outside today. We're having a bunch of big rainstorms coming through, so we'll see how the stream goes tonight. There is no promises. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, there are no promises whatsoever. So we're gonna see how we do tonight. I see my camera's already in tracking mode, but you know what? That's okay. So that way you guys can kind of follow along as I move around the room. But anyway, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and happy Father's Day to all the mothers that are doing double duty. I want to thank you all for all you do for the next generation, inspiring them to be good humans, to do good in the world, and get out there and shine their light on their communities, their families, their friends, and yeah, just be a good human. That's the one of the most important things I can say to you, one and all. So if you guys are watching on one of the other platforms like YouTube, Facebook, or TikTok, welcome to the stream. Let me go ahead and welcome everyone from those platforms as well. So go ahead, guys. Feel free to drop your comments down in the comment section. And if you have any questions, I'll do my best to try to, keep track of those and answer them. Usually there'll be someone in the comments that also will help me stay on track, letting me know that somebody is saying something over on one of the other platforms. Let me go ahead and highlight YouTube real quick so you guys can see what that looks like. So if you're over on YouTube, this is kind of what it looked like if you guys type something over there. Facebook is kind of iffy. Sometimes it shows up, sometimes it doesn't. But Amazon always shows up, guys. So if you're commenting over here on Amazon, your comments will show up in the stream. All right, so let's get to the first item we have listed in the carousel tonight, and that is something we're going to be testing out tonight, along with some other stuff that I have set up for you guys to show you. I have a new video switcher that we're going to be taking a look at tonight. So this is the laser we're going to be talking about here in just a second. But soon after that, we're going to take a look at this video switcher that I have set up back here. It's a budget video switcher. I went ahead and set everything up the way I would normally do it if I was running a live stream solely from this device. So I'll walk you guys through that. And I'm sure a lot of my friends out there who are just getting started in live streaming, content creation, or whatever the case it may be, are going to be really interested in this little video switcher that was just recently sent out to me. And I did do an unboxing on it today, and I did the first test and also a video on it. So if you haven't seen that video, you can find it here on Amazon. You can find it over on YouTube and a few other platforms as well. So you know how we do. All right, so let's get to this laser over here. So this is the X-Tool M1 Ultra. This is a 4-in-1 laser, guys. It comes with 4 different modules. You actually get a print module, which is this little module that you guys see right here. You can put this in if you want to print on any materials, wood, paper, plastic, anything like that. You also have a pen module that you can install on this unit, and this will allow you to draw. Now it comes with a set of pens, and I do believe there are quite a few pens that will also fit in this. So if you have your own custom pens or something like that you want to use, you may be able to test those and see if those are going to fit. The laser itself that I received from X-Tool came with the 10-watt laser module, and it also comes with a cutting module. So the cutting module allows you to cut things like leather, vinyl, so if you have a heat press or something like that, that's going to be excellent for doing your little vinyl cuts and stuff like that. I've been really impressed with this product, guys. So like I said, if you are looking for kind of an all-in-one machine that can pretty much do it all, guys, I mean, if you have that creative spark, this is definitely going to be a machine that you want to take a look at. All right, so right now this product is $17.99, and that comes with all of the aforementioned, accessories and everything. So normally what I do is the first person in the stream, I will allow them to pick something for us to create, but I don't see anybody as of yet. It is Father's Day, so I don't think we're going to get a lot of people in. But what I do have is this little metal business card that I have been wanting to test these for a while with this laser. So I have used other lasers that I have here in the studio to create my own personal business cards using these metal cards you can get right here on Amazon. So I want to test one of these to see how well it will do on this laser as well. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So let's just go ahead and pop back over to the laser. Let me go ahead and get everything set up so I can show you guys how that normally happens. All right, so first things first, you would take whatever your substrate is. You're just going to lay it. You can just lay it on this little grid. Now that I have it on some paper. Actually, you know what? Let me move that. Let me pick something else as a backing. I'm just going to use this little piece of wood here as a backing. And that's just to give it a little bit of support. All right, so there we go. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to build out our work area. So let me show you guys what that looks like. So on the work area, give me 1 second. Here we go. All right, so as far as the work area goes, you're going to go in here first and you're going to click here and you're going to choose what shape you want the work area to have. We're going to go with a rectangle. So I'm just going to go start right here and then we can switch back over and I'll show you guys how that works. So I'm just going to move the laser into place. That's the far point right there. And then you're just going to press your framing button, and then you can move it to the second position. And we're going to press the framing button again. Then I'm just going to take it right back to like the middle of the card so that it can measure the thickness. So I'm going to close the lid here. And next thing I'm going to do is we're going to go right back over here to our desktop. We're going to go ahead and hit end marking and done. So right here is our little work area that we're going to be working with. And then we're going to click here and we're going to measure. And the probe is just going to come down and touch the card to let us know exactly where it's at. So let me show you guys what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time. So a little probe comes down, it just touches the card. And right now that's showing us that it is 15.7 millimeters in thickness, okay? So what are we going to do next? Next thing we're going to do is we're going to decide on what we want to actually engrave. And one cool thing that I really like about the Xtool Creator Space is that you get to pick the material that you're going to be working with. Check this out. So I can go up here and I know that this is going to be a metal business card. So here is my metal business card right there. I can just click on that and hit confirm. And now whenever I bring anything in here, the power settings are going to be pretty close to what I need it to be. Okay, so let's find a file that we want to engrave on here. We're going to do something really simple. So let's go with one of these shapes and let's go down. Maybe one of these animal shapes would be good. Let's see what we have here. Let's go with this wise owl right here. So we're going to choose this owl. And we're just going to drag this pretty much onto the card, just like that. As you guys can see, you have your little target right there for the center. All right, so now you have 3 options here. You have scoring, you have engrave, and then you have cut, okay? But we're not going to try to cut this out. We're going to engrave it. So right now it's telling us that the best result would be 80% power and 100% speed. And you kind of get an idea of this is what it's supposed to look like if we engrave it at that speed. We're going to do 1 pass. We're going to do 200 lines per centimeter. So first things first, let's frame it up to make sure it's going exactly where we need it to be. So let's go back over to our laser. Let's hit our framing button. And then I'm going to confirm that by pressing the big silver button. And it's going to frame it out. Okay, so it framed it out perfectly. All right, so now all we have to do is complete the framing and just hit the process button. And once that information is there, we can just hit start. Now, what's another cool thing that's great about this laser is that even though you hit start on your computer, you still have to confirm it by pressing the big silver button, which I'm going to do again. And there we go. All right, so I just pressed the big silver button. So now it's going to start engraving onto the business card. Just getting a quick little peek over there to see what it's looking like. So far, it's looking pretty good. Now, I didn't do a material test on this. I'm just basing this off of what the material asked for the type of business card or the type of material that we chose. So we'll see what the end result looks like here in a second. It's going to take us about 8 minutes to complete this. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the next item we have listed in the carousel. Let me turn on my gimbal and let's rotate this around. All right, there we go. All right, guys, so let's switch over to our camera view here real quick. All right, so what you guys are looking at right there are two Blue Yeti batteries. Now, both of these batteries, guys, I highly recommend. The first one that you see there is currently $139 right now, which makes a great Father's Day gift. So if you still have not got your father, uncle, grandpa, or something for Father's Day, this is an amazing little portable battery. It is the AC2A. It is 204 watt hours, LiPo 4 battery. Again, $139. This is going to be ideal. I'm actually using that battery tonight to power the video switcher that we talked about earlier. So definitely take a look at that. It's going to provide you with AC and DC power delivery. Has a nice integrated handle on the top. You guys can see that a little bit here. There's a little handle right there on the top. I got some things sitting on top of it. Maybe you can't see it. But anyway, as I said, it does have a really nice handle on the top of it. Now, the next battery we're going to take a look at, also from Blue Yeti, this is the EB3A. Now, it is currently $179, which is going to be the lower battery, the one that you see here on the bottom. Now, that battery is $179. The EB3A is a 268 watt hour LiPo 4 battery. All of these batteries, guys, can be powered by solar panels. They can be charged by AC power. They can also be charged by your vehicle while you're driving. You can charge them off of another battery. I've done that multiple times where I use one battery to power another battery. So you have a lot of options there. The main reason you'd want one of these batteries is for portable power, or especially power in case of an emergency. You never know if you live in a state like I do down here in Texas, where the power could go out for any reason, like a storm tonight could result in us being without power temporarily. So having a couple of these solar power batteries really comes in handy. All right, so let's take a quick look at what our laser is doing. As you guys can see, we're just speeding along, doing our little owl on this business card. And so far, everything looks good. We'll take a closer look at it once we finish. Now, I did mention earlier in the stream that we're going to be taking a look at some live streaming gear. As you guys know, I live stream probably about 5 to 6 days a week. And lately, I've been live streaming on multiple platforms at the same time. And that's definitely one of the things that I look to be able to do, whether it's from my laptop here or any portable device that I would use. Now, I've been blessed, and Ozbot has sent me quite a bit of gear over the last couple of years. And I want to show you guys some of the other gear that I use for live streaming. So one of the devices that I use on a regular basis, guys, for live streaming is this device right here. Now, this is the Ozbot Talent. We're going to come back to this in just a second. Now, Ozbot has a number of cameras as well. Now, in the carousel tonight, we have a few different little packages set up, so you guys are more than happy to, welcome to look at those. But each one of the bundles offers something different. So let me grab one of the cameras. All right. So on the first bundle, you're going to find a number of things. $28.23 is the bundle cost. You will receive three of these Osbot tail air cameras. You'll receive a remote control, and you'll also receive the Talent, which is the device that I have here on the desk. Okay. So what the Talent allows you to do is to be able to record. This is a 4-in-1 device, guys. It does not have an internal battery. You can power it off of Sony MPF batteries. You can also power it off of a 12-volt, 1.5 amp plug. You have your USB-C out. You have your SD card. You have your Ethernet right here, as well as you have two HDMIs, one USB 3.0 on this side, another USB 3.0 on this side. You have line in, mic in, and headphone jacks on this guy as well. You know, and what I love about this is that I can wirelessly connect my cameras to this device. I see D'Angelo is in the house. Welcome. Yeah! Welcome, D'Angelo, on Father's Day. Thank you for stopping in on Father's Day, and thank you for telling me Happy Father's Day at like 12 a.m. or whatever it was that you sent me the message earlier today. I greatly appreciate it. It made my day. It made my day. All right, so let's get back to it. So all of these devices combined, guys, are going to be excellent for live streaming. One of the strongest points of these devices is that you can have all of your standard trappings for a live stream. You have the ability to do your startup screen. You can do countdown timers. You know, I can set up a countdown timer, you know, when I'm getting ready to go live. You can also turn on and off your graphics, including things like the web graphics that we have here. You can switch scenes very easily with this device. So if you have multiple cameras connected to it, let's just go ahead and turn this one camera on real quick here, and I'll show you guys what I mean. So I'm going to power this guy on, and this is going to connect to the Talent wirelessly because we're using the SRT protocol. D'Angelo says, of course, I planned on dropping, but I feel a little under the weather. I hope you had a great day, a good day. Yes, and you have made it that much better by stopping in on the stream tonight. Thank you so much. All right. And I will, of course, send you some photos later of whatever I decide to make for dinner tonight. So, you know, be prepared. Be prepared. All right. So, all right. So anyway, the camera is now connected, so I can just tap right here, and you guys can see now we have that video source coming in wirelessly. Okay. And again, you know, there's a number of other cameras from Osbot that will work with this as well. One of their newest cameras, guys, let me highlight it here real quick. One of their newest cameras, the Osbot Tail 2. Let me grab one. All right. So this is the Osbot Tail 2 right here. Now, what's cool about this camera versus the other, well, they both can work with NDI. They both have the access of being able to use SRT, but the connection points are much larger on this unit. You have your line in, mic in right here. You also have your RS 232s for your PTZ controller. You have a full-size HDMI. You have an SDI. You have Ethernet. You have your power over USB-C. And you also have your UVC connection here. You can also plug in an SD card with this guy as well. Now, this one, different than the one that's next to it, even though they both are PTZ cameras, this is actually a PTZ-R. So what that means is normally when we want to create content for something like Instagram or TikTok, you know, the cameras are in the wrong orientation, and usually we would have to take those cameras and turn them to the side or mount them somewhere like that. But with this camera, guys, with the app on your phone, you can actually rotate it internally and switch this from 16:9 to 9:16, and then you'll be able to use this for Instagram or TikTok, and especially with something like the Talent, because first, let me show you the video coming in from this camera right here. Where is it? Where is it? I don't see it yet. It'll pop up here in a second. There we go. So that's the video right now that's showing my arm here on the screen that's coming in from that camera. But you also have the ability to have multiple shows saved. So you can go into your show list and say, for instance, I had a portrait-oriented show. Now I could, use this orientation of the camera. If I had the camera set up for portrait, then it would be ideal for streaming to, say, Instagram or to TikTok or creating that type of content. And these shows are saved on the device, guys. That means you don't have to come back in and recreate the wheel every time you want to go live. And you guys see how easy it was for me to just switch back over here to whatever, scenes that I have set up. And like I said, even with my live streams, normally I have some type of lower third. I can use a web-based lower third on here or an actual graphical lower third if I wanted to. So this will keep everything, the same. So it'll look just like it would look if somebody was watching me on, Amazon or YouTube or Facebook, and I was streaming from my computer or streaming from this device. It would look pretty much the same. Okay. So of course, I can switch back and forth between the two camera angles, no problem there. I don't have the third camera plugged in right now, but you guys get the idea how this works. And when it comes to audio, yes, even the same audio device that I'm using right now with this microphone, my Rodecaster Pro, I can plug that in. I have a cable for it right here on my desk, and I can just plug this guy in. This cable you see right here, I could plug this right into the talent, and then the audio from the same microphone, the same audio interface would be, recorded as well as broadcast through this device. This is a very, very well thought out device, guys. I am a huge fan of this. I have been using Osbot cameras for probably the last 4+ years. And I feel really blessed that, they have been sending me some of their more upgraded devices and wanting me to review them and talk about them. But of course, you guys know I never talk about anything on my stream or do videos on anything that I would not purchase with my own money. And yes, I would buy these cameras in a heartbeat. All right, so let's start turning some of these guys off so we can reserve some power, because y'all know I have a tendency to forget to turn these things off. So let's go ahead and turn that one off as well. Let's put it over here off to the side, and let's switch this guy off as well. All right, so just hit that little power button. And if I didn't mention before, this one also has your 3.5 for your headphone jack. You also have built-in microphones in this unit right here. You have a micro HDMI. You can also install an SD card on this one, and you have your USB-C if you want to connect this, via UVC to a laptop or tablet or something like that. These are PTZ cameras, and the bundle also comes with a remote, and that's this remote right here. This will give you the ability to control up to 3 cameras. Each one of the cameras can have up to 3 presets. You have human tracking, pet tracking. You have a little laser pointer here. For my gamers out there like D'Angelo, is very familiar with using joysticks. You can actually control the camera with the joystick controller here. You have a video button. You have a power button, and you also have a joy rocker. A joy rocker here on the side where that you can zoom in and zoom out. Telerocker right here. I said joy rocker. Telerocker right here that you could use to zoom in and zoom out. And this is all in the palm of your hand. You can also connect this remote directly to the talent and use it for switching scenes and also controlling the cameras at the same time. So a lot of flexibility, a lot of engineering went into developing these devices, guys. This is just going to be an extremely plug-and-play solution for a lot of people that are interested in live streaming, content creation, or any of that kind of stuff. So definitely check this out. I see Hope is saying hello over on YouTube. Yeah! Welcome, Hope. Welcome to the stream. Let's see if Hope's comment is showing up. Yep, there we go. Let's go ahead and just highlight Hope's comment real quick there. All right. So I want to show you guys what we just created with the laser. So let me first highlight our upcoming item, which is going to be the RGB Link Mini Pro, which is right here on my desk. But we're going to come back to that in a second. And let me show you guys. Let me just see if I can position this camera a little bit better so you guys can see that. I got so much stuff going on this desk. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can angle it where you can see. Yeah, there we go. So we got everything set up over there. I'll move this camera around once we get to that here in a second, and I'll kind of give you guys a rundown on that video switcher and how I've been using it earlier today here in just a second. But before we get to that, let's go back over to our laser and take a quick look at the result of our first metal business card I have ever done with this laser. All right, so here it is. I'm gonna bring it over here to our top-down view. Let me wipe some of the smut off of here. All right, so here is the owl. I need to clean it off a little bit because that's a diode laser, not a fiber laser. Fiber lasers have a tendency to give you a much cleaner engraving without you having to do any cleaning or anything. But, you know, there is the owl that we just worked on. You guys can see how nice that turned out. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. You know, if you think this came out really well. Now I'll show you in comparison to one of my fiber lasers what the difference kind of looks like. So you get a little bit of a difference in color depending on the frequency and the power that you have your laser set at. This one right here was done with a 20-watt fiber laser. This was done with a 10-watt diode laser, but they're both the same, you know, grade little metal business cards. So, you know, you're getting pretty good results from both of those. So let me know what you guys think. All right, so let me set everything up. Let me set everything up so I can show you guys this video switcher from RGB Link. Now, when RGB Link reached out to me, and they have sent me a number of things over the year. They've sent me some of their HDMI transmitters. You guys have seen me talk about those. Those are the little small transmitters you can plug into a camera or into a gaming station or whatever it is, and you want to transmit it from like a projector to a big screen or to a television or something like that. Those some of the devices that I've received from them that we've talked about quite a few times on the stream. But tonight what we're going to take a look at is one of their actual live streaming video switchers, okay? So they did send me one of their budget beginner video switchers, and I think that is a great entry point for a lot of people who are just getting started creating content. I have talked about this with a couple of friends over the last few days. And one of my main concerns was, you know, I'm normally talking about things like YOLO boxes, the YOLO Box Pro, the YOLO Box Extreme, the YOLO Box Ultra, the YOLO Box, InStream, or the Mini, or the Ozbot Talent. And these are all-in-one devices, you know, with the screen, with, you know, some of them have internal batteries, all of that jazz, right? But they're all going to be at a price point that a lot of people cannot get started from, because they're like, Rome, you know, I don't have an extra $1,000. I don't have an extra $1,500 or $2,000 to get started. And that's just for the device, not counting the cameras, the microphones, and all the other stuff that you might need in order to, you know, make your stream what you want your stream to be. So I do believe a device like this definitely serves a purpose. And that purpose is to help a lot of people get started. And just so we're all clear on the same page here, when I first started live streaming, I was using a device from Atomus. It was the Atomus Ninja V and their video switcher. It's a little device that you connect the Ninja V to, and it will allow you to connect up to 4 HDMI devices to it. I can see it. It's on my desk over here, but I'm not going to go grab it. But if anybody wants to see it, I'll walk around there and get it. But it's basically the same thing. But the advantage to that device was it did give me a full-size screen, where this one has a little small 2-inch screen, but it's designed for you to connect it to an additional monitor, and that monitor could be as big as you want it to be. It could be as big as something projected onto a wall or whatever, if that's, you know, what you're trying to do. So anyway, let's go over here to this desk and take a closer look at exactly what we got and what we're going to be working with. Let's get it. All right, so let me show you guys what we have here. Let me check my gimbal, make sure I got enough battery. Yep, we're good. All right, so what we have here with this device, this is it right here, okay? Whoops, hold on. Let me switch the gimbal to follow. There we go. All right, so here's the device right here. This is going to allow you to connect up to 4 HDMI devices. You'll have your program out, you have your multi-view out. I have it currently connected to one of my iPads. You guys see that? So the reason why I can do that is because I have a capture card for the iPad, and that allows me to bring the video feed into the iPad. So I'm going to turn all of these cameras on so you guys can kind of see how this works. So I have my Sony a7 IV right here. I'm going to switch this guy on. And I have my FX30 over here. I'm going to switch this guy on as well. And I'm going to power everything up because this does require AC power. So I'm powering these off of this Blue Yeti battery back here. So that's what I was saying before. I'm powering everything off of one of these batteries, all right? So here we go. So we got the battery. Now the battery's on. The iPad should have a little bit of charge left. And I got to switch this guy on as well. It does have a power switch here in the back. So let's go ahead and switch that on. Now, something to be aware of, it does take a few seconds for this thing to boot up, so it's not going to be instant. But if some people will just leave something like this on all the time, they never turn it off, so it's always on. All right, so this is going to boot up in a second, and once it boots up, then I'll turn the iPad on so I can show you how I have the screen set up as a multi-view screen. All right, so as soon as we get confirmation that this is connected, I'll show you guys what that looks like. Now, as far as the cable that I'm using right here, I do have it listed in the carousel. This is from Ugreen, and this has worked great for me connecting my controller from my drone, you know, to things like the YOLO box, things like the Ozbot Talent, especially when I want to live stream using one of those and show the footage and everything. Okay, so this is almost there. I see both of the thumbnails starting to show up. I got to check and make sure both cameras are on. Let me check and make sure my other camera is on. Okay, let me, because I have this macro lens on this other camera, so it's going to be hard for it to focus on something. So let me find something for it to focus on. All right, there we go. We got something to focus on. And I don't know if this camera's on. Hold on. All right, so let's give this camera a chance to start up. It says the battery is exhausted. Okay, so the battery's dead on my Sony camera over here. So, you know, there we go. So I didn't charge that battery. But regardless, you guys can see that we do have one of the thumbnails coming in, which is from this camera right here. Now, you will need HDMI deliverable cameras. All right, so also let me turn on the iPad. And let me find the app. Hold on. And let's open the app. And it's going to connect to it. Well, it should have connected to it already. So let me try unplugging it and plugging it back in. All right, there we go. It should connect now. There we go. All right, so you guys can see we have our picture-in-picture. We're just waiting on the video feed to come in from this other camera. So that camera is on camera 2, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so that's camera 2. So we want camera 2 to go out as our preview. So we go ahead and send that out. And if I move this camera around, you guys can see that's the video feed that's coming out. I do have this camera here connected, but it's not providing any video because the battery's dead, but you guys get the idea. So you will have all 4 of your HDMI sources right here at the bottom that you'll be able to view anytime. You'll be able to grab, you know, whatever you want and switch over, which is really nice, guys. I'm telling you, this is a really nice, you know, simplified system. You can plug in your audio devices right here on the side. You have line in, mic in. You have your Ethernet. You have the ability to record directly to this. So you can add an SD card or thumb drive right here and record. You also have your program out. You have your UVC for connecting this to a computer. So if you want to use like OBS or something like that, you can. And then back here on the back is where all of the magic happens. This is where you're going to find all of your connections. So you guys see we have 4 HDMIs. We have our multi-view HDMI right here. We have our power in. So this is powered off of AC power, and it has a power switch. Okay, so very compact, portable little system, guys. So if you're looking to live stream, let me just show you guys the whole desk, how I have everything set up here. So if you're looking for a budget way to live stream, having multiple cameras, connecting audio devices, and yes, this could be wireless microphones. It could be something like this Rodecaster Pro over here, or one of the smaller audio interfaces that I showed you guys before. And yes, you can even use professional quality microphones with this type of setup. So if you're doing a podcast, you're doing live streaming, you're doing gaming or anything like that, or wanting to record that content, this could be an excellent device for you guys to take a look at. And it is very budget friendly. It is $295 right now, $295. That cable I was telling you guys about over here from Ugreen, that cable right now is only $16. $16 and I think 32 cents. Yeah, that's what it is. $16.32 for that. Now I have 2 cables because I have the HDMI to USB-C, and then I have the USB-C to HDMI. One is a male and one is a female. I need both of those when I'm using this with my drone. But if you're just using it for this type of setup right here, you can get away with just the capture card if you wanted to use an iPad. Now, why would you want an iPad instead of, say, something like a traditional monitor? The advantage to the iPad is the iPad has its own power supply. So if you got a couple of tablets laying around, Android tablets or iOS devices, you could actually have portable monitors that don't require power. Now, this device is going to require power, so whether you're using something like a Blue Yeti or a different type of battery, anything that can support enough power to the device, you should be good to go. But wherever you go with this, you will have to have power, whether it's going to be wall AC power or some type of portable power. So just keep that in mind as you're, deciding if this is going to be the right setup for you. But one of the major advantages is that it gives you the opportunity to use some more professional-ish cameras, like this A7 IV here, or one of my FX3s or FX30s. So it really, really can, take your production level to a whole nother level, guys. So if you guys have any questions about this tech, the abilities that it has, this thing has 14 built-in transitions. Now, it won't be able to do some of the things that we mentioned, with the other devices, like, graphical overlays and stuff like that. This current version won't be able to do any of that stuff. But, for the most part, for a lot of people just getting started who just want to be able just to live stream and get their content out to the world, I think they're going to be very, very happy with this device. All right, I need to find this cable. All right, let's make sure we got enough power going to this phone right here, because it looks like that phone is only at 20%. So let me make sure I got AC and DC power. Okay, yeah, now we got power going to the phone. All right, we're good. All right, so like I said, if you guys have any questions about anything that you ever see in my carousel, feel free to drop it down, and I am here for it. All right, what do we got next? So we got a few more things before we wrap up the stream tonight. So we have some other cameras from Ozbot as well, some smaller, more compact cameras. Now, Ozbot, like I said, has come out with just a plethora of different cameras. Let me grab one of these small cameras and show you guys. So if you are interested in live streaming, and maybe you already have a computer and a microphone and all that kind of jazz, you don't need a full switcher, you don't need any of the stuff that I've talked about so far, but you do want a very high quality 4K webcam, this could be an option for you. Now, there's 2 variations of this camera. The one I'm holding in my hand right now is the 4K version. There's also a 1080p version, which is currently right now $99. That's the Osbot Tiny SE. So this is the one that I have here on the desk. Let's go back down here. The one here on the desk is the Tiny 2 Lite. Let me find the SE. I know it's laying around here somewhere. Let me find it real quick and show it to you guys, of course, because I'm looking for it. I can't find it. But anyway, the other variant of this camera is the 1080p version of it. And then we have, like I said, we have the 4K version that we're looking at right here. But almost everything other than the fact that the camera is 4K is almost identical to this model that you see here. You have your PTZ, you have your built-in little stand right here with the 1/4-20 so that you can mount this on a tripod, monopod. You can also mount this directly onto a monitor. It's just going to clip right onto the monitor. This has tracking capabilities. So you have pan, tilt, zoom, all of those features. There is a remote that's available for this one as well. It does have built-in microphones. So, you know, if that's something that you're looking for, this could be an ideal little camera. Now, this one, you cannot put an SD card in it or anything like that. That's just going to be what you see is what you get. You're going to plug this into your Mac, your PC. You're going to plug this into your tablet or whatever the case is going to be. And then that's going to be, you know, it. But I'm telling you, the video quality on these little cameras, guys, is outstanding. Okay. If you like the video quality that's coming off of this camera right here, which I've had for over 3 years now, the video quality from this camera is superior, okay? Because it's a newer chipset. It's a, you know, a better image and video and color processing going on with this little camera, these little cameras here. So definitely take a look at these Osbot line of cameras, even all the way down. And I don't even have this listed in the carousel tonight, but all the way down to like the Osbot Meet 2, which is another one of their little small compact cameras. Now this one, again, like none of these have any type of monitors or screens on the back of them. They're just 4K cameras or 1080p cameras. You're gonna just plug it into your Mac or PC and it just does what it does. This one comes with like a little magnetic stand and you can easily clip this onto your monitor as well. So, you know, you can take a look at one of those. That's gonna be a little bit more, you know, on the budget side of things. Now, a camera that a lot of people love and people are always asking me about is going to be the Pocket 3. The Pocket 3 has become like the go-to camera for a lot of content creators. Let me find my Pocket 3. Did I take it back in the living room? I might have to go get it out of the living room. Where did I put the camera? Shoot. Oh no! But I know one thing I need to do before I go look for that camera is I need to power off some of the stuff that's over here on my desk because all of these things are running. That's why that camera has no battery, because I forgot to turn it off. So let's turn this camera off. Let's switch off this video switcher. Let's power down this battery. All right, let's power that down as well. And let me run over into the living room and grab this other camera so I can show it to you guys up close. All right, I am back. All right, let's go down here to the desktop real quick. All right, so this camera here, guys, is the Osmo Pocket 3. Now, this guy comes in a bundle. It comes with this microphone that you see here. This is the Osmo. This is a DJI Mic 2. This is a Bluetooth microphone. Now, you can buy this microphone by itself. You can buy it with this bundle, or you can also get it in a bundle where it comes with 2 of these omnidirectional microphones and a receiver. Now, the Pocket that you see here, this is pretty much the configuration that you're going to get. It does have a built-in screen. So you have a 2-inch by 1-inch screen right here. This is also a PTZ camera. It has tracking capabilities. You can install an SD card right here on the side to, you know, to record your content. You can use this as a webcam. There's no wireless transmission for this camera. You do have USB-C here on the back for connecting it to your Mac or PC or tablet or whatever it is. Now I do have like a little box on here, a little cage on here with a little magnetic clip that allows me to connect this to things like anything that's metal, refrigerator, stove. So if I'm doing like a cooking tutorial or something like that, I can just, pop this thing up next to the stove and record myself or whatever the case it is. So you also have your record button here. You have a joystick. As you guys can see, I can adjust the camera angle here, but it also has, like I said, human tracking. Now, this has become the influencer camera. Every person that I know that's an influencer, every person that I know that's creating content is using this camera right here. And yes, it is an amazing camera, guys. This is an amazing camera. All right, looks like I see Terry's in the house. Welcome, Terry. Welcome to the stream. Yeah! All right, Terry, look what we created tonight. Let me go ahead and show you real quick. I made this little owl. I was waiting on you because you're usually the first person in the stream, but since you weren't here already, I just went ahead and engraved this owl onto one of these metal business cards. Terry, let me know how Father's Day has been for you. Have you done anything special for anyone in your life for Father's Day? Terry says that's awesome. Okay, so back to this little camera, guys. Like I said, this is going to be an excellent little running gun camera. Now, this is not an action camera. This is not a GoPro. So if you're looking for a GoPro, get yourself a GoPro, okay? Because this is not a waterproof camera. This is not something you go skydiving with or something, you do all of the crazy rugged things that we do like riding motorcycles and all that. If that's what you need, then go with a GoPro, okay? But for everything else, okay, this little guy right here is definitely going to get the job done for you. So definitely take a look at this little camera right here. And there's a ton of accessories out there for this camera, including macro lenses, ND filters, but that's for pretty much all cameras out there. It comes with a little mini tripod, all of that kind of jazz. But this camera right here, guys, is the camera I use every single day. If you watch the videos that I created today, this was created with this camera right here. And you guys have already seen I have some more expensive cameras back there that I can use at any time, but 99% of the time, this little camera right here or one of my phones will be what I'll use to create content. So, that's a high compliment to this device because I do have, much higher end camera bodies, cinema cameras, cinema lenses, things like that. And I will choose this camera almost every single time. So definitely take a look at it. Now, cameras are crucially important for a lot of the content that we create, but one of the most important things you can have in your content creation journey is going to be your audio, guys. Audio is number one. Audio is number one. So one of the sets of microphones that I have here, now these were sent to me by Anchor a couple of years ago, and I'm still using these microphones to this day, and that's these microphones right here. These are the Anchor M650 wireless microphones. You get like 2 omnidirectional microphones, a receiver, all that kind of cool jazz. So what's nice about this is that you can plug this receiver directly into your phone. So if you have an iPhone or you have an Android phone, that uses USB-C, there's an adapter for it. If you have an older iPhone that uses Lightning adapter, there's a Lightning adapter for it as well that comes in the case, and it fits right in the case. You get 2 of these omnidirectional microphones. They have internal recording. You have a 3.5 right here, so if you don't want the microphone on your shirt or something, you could just use a standard lavalier mic, but there's a built-in mic right here. This is how I would usually use these. I would just clip these onto my shirt. Now, these have your standard clip. As you guys can see here, it's the standard little clip right there. But this clip does detach. You have the rare earth magnets for this guy. So that means you can put this inside of your shirt, the microphone on the outside, and it'll just clip on. And that makes it makes it easier for you to be able to arrange this microphone pretty much wherever you need it to go. So that's a win. And the case itself is also the charging case. So that's going to power and charge up the microphones and the receiver, which is really nice. I see Richard's in the house. Welcome, Richard. Welcome to the stream, and happy Father's Day to you. All right, so right now, guys, the M650 wireless microphones currently are $179.99. Definitely take a look at those. All right, so what else do we have for audio? We have another little audio device, and of course, it's on the other side of the room, which I need to go over there and get it. So I'm just gonna roll back here, see if I can grab it without having to get up because I'm being lazy. But I got it because that's where I put everything now on that back shelf. Richard know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so here is something really cool from our friends over at Nearstream. This is another audio interface, and yes, this will work with almost any of your other tech that you guys have out there that we've talked about so far. This can work with a YOLO box. It can work with a Talent. It can work with the RGB link that we looked at earlier. So let's take a quick look over at that real quick here. So as you guys can see, here is the RGB link. And you could take this little audio interface out with you as well. This is battery powered, and that means you'll be able to connect a larger microphone to this than one of the smaller compact microphones. And if you want to compare this in size, look at how much smaller this is than my Rodecaster that you guys see back there in the background, right? Now, with the Rodecaster, I can connect up to 4 microphones like this to it. But with this one here, let's take it over to the desk and I'll show you all of the cool things you can do with this. All right, so some of the cool things, let me grab my headphones here. Some of the cool things that you can do with this, guys, is that you can plug in a full-size XLR microphone. You have phantom power. You have a 3.5, well, you have a standard plug here for like an instrument. I can't remember what the actual size of the instrument plug, guitar plug, but you can plug a guitar, keyboard, bass guitar in there. You have all of your controls here for your instrument. You have your gain, your reverb and controls here. You have your headphone controls. You have your voice remover. You have a ducker, which is just, to cut out a voice or something like that. You have effects here. This is powered. So it does have an internal battery, and you can just power this guy on, and that's just one less thing you got to worry about. Barbecuing right now, have some fun and create some bloopers, Richard says. Hopefully there won't be too many bloopers tonight, Richard. We'll save that for later in the week. All right, guys, so we have our DC connection here. We have our power indicator light right here. We have our OTG right here. Headphone jack. We can also plug in, an audio device. An additional phone can go into this. You can have a lot of things going on with this. Now, one of the cool ways of bringing in somebody else live to your stream or to your podcast, if you connect a phone to this, and bring that person in, you could have a conversation with someone, just the audio side of it, being able to interview them and talk to them during your stream or maybe during some live stream or podcast you're recording. And this is going to make it really easy. And like I said, this is going to also allow you to use the more expensive microphones with this. So if that's something that might tickle your pickle, definitely take a look at this. And this is a very, very inexpensive interface, guys. This guy right here is only $79. Richard says, I'm listening, so be careful what you say. Richard's coming for me, y'all. Richard's coming for me. It's too early, Richard. It's too early today. And it's raining. It's raining here in Texas. I'm just happy to be able to make it through the stream without any technical difficulties. Let's knock on some wood. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's see what we got. We got a couple of things here for the studio as well. You guys know I add a lot of lighting and everything to the studio. Let me show you guys one of the lights that I use here in the studio as a background light. And that is this light right here. So this one comes with a honeycomb grid, as you guys can see here on the front. I'm going to take the grid off so I can show you guys what the light looks like without it, because it seems like every time I talk about this light, I never take it out of the grid. So this is what the light looks like. Okay, now this is a battery powered light as well. You have a 1/4-20 on both ends, so you can either suspend this up like this or, have it on these little tripod legs like I have here. You got a power button right back here, so I can power this guy on. And you guys can see now we have that blue lighting effect with this. You could use this like a light wand. You could use it for so many different things. I usually use something like this as a background light, you know, here in the studio. So if I want to add like a little bit of light behind, you know, a product or something, this is the light that I usually use. But I most of the time use it with this honeycomb grid right here, because that way I can concentrate the light in one direction and I don't have to worry about spillage, because Richard and the bloopers, but I don't have to worry about spillage of light either, Richard, so I don't have to worry about spilling any light. Now, this light right now is the A2 from Am Beautiful. You can get it here on Amazon, guys, for $88.99. I'm just putting the little grid back on. You guys see how well that works. So just by turning it a little bit, you can get the lighting effect, or you can just kind of put like just a little bit of light on a subject, or a hair light or something like that. So if I want to light up my hair, you know, I could have this behind me. No hair jokes tonight, Richard. No hair jokes tonight, because my hair is beautiful. It's beautiful. Don't make me prove it. But anyway, so anyway, you can take this light, guys. You can put it pretty much anywhere, on a floor, on a desk, wherever you want to. Let me just show it to you here real quick. So I just have it right here on the desk, and yeah, you can hang this, you could mount this. So a lot of different ways you can use this light. So just definitely check it out, especially if you're starting up starting up a new studio or something. Right, Smokey? Smokey's over here getting into mischief. Smokey, go away. It's too early. It's not time yet, Smokey. I got about 30 more minutes, Smokey. I got about 30 more minutes. So come back later. Come back later, okay? It's not lunch. It's not dinner time. But anyway, what hair, man? Man. Let's not go there, bro. Let's not go there, okay? Let's not go there. We're just gonna go to the next. We're just gonna go to the next thing in the carousel for the studio, for my aspiring live streamer, content creators, and all that kind of stuff. All right, here we go. So here is another cool thing right here. Now, this is the fog maker that I was telling you guys about almost every stream. I talk about this fog maker because this is probably one of my favorite things right here. So if you guys are looking for a way to add atmosphere in your studio, if you're doing some photography, videography, you know, this could be an excellent device for you guys to take a look at. Definitely give this one a look as well. Hold on, give me a second, guys. All right. So, yeah, this will be an excellent way for you guys to add some atmosphere to a room, or some fog around a product or something like that. So, you know, definitely take a look at these different products, guys, because these things really take your setup to a whole nother level. I am a huge fan of this. Now, what I love about it is the fact that it comes with these detachable heads. This one here is going to be great for like your dry ice type of effect. It comes with another head that has an RGB light built into it, which is this unit right here. And this one also has an additional fan. So let me just use that one real quick here so I can show you guys what it looks like real fast here. So I can just take this and pop this on just like so. I can power this guy on. This is battery powered. You do have to add fog juice to this, but I'm just going to go ahead and power this guy on real quick. So the first portion of it down here has a fan built into it, and it also has your amount controls for the amount of fog that comes out. You also have a little button here on the side you can press that allows you to rotate this about 60 degrees, as you guys see here. Ooh, we got chicken at Richard's house, y'all. We got chicken at Richard's house. It's time to roll. It's time to roll. Richard, I'm going to be riding on the back of the drone, okay? I'm on my way, bro. Right after the stream, I'm on my way. I'm on my way, bro. Anyway, let me go ahead and turn the fans on. So I'm going to bring the fan up. You probably can hear that on the microphone. And then the same little button right here, mode button, I can press that. It turns green. That's going to allow me to change the RGB color. So right now I can switch that to a different color. Let's just go with blue for now. Then we have a button right here. We press that button and it's going to start producing fog just like that. So now we have some colored smoke. We have some colored fog in your scene, in your studio. Maybe you want some atmospheric fog so the light can penetrate it, like a light back here. So let me switch over here real quick. You guys can see what I'm talking about. So if I add just a little bit of fog right here in front of this light, right about there, you guys see how that's going to kind of create that that really foggy effect. So it just depends on how you're shooting, what you're shooting, all of that kind of jazz. So yeah, this little guy right here is a win, guys. This is a win. And it is very well priced. You get the entire bundle, including you get a little travel bag for this as well. You get the different heads. You get some additional little snoots on here that you can adjust pretty much however you need to for only $129 for this little kit. So definitely check it out. And I use this thing all the time. Richard says I use it way too much. I think I use it just enough. That's all I can say, Richard. I think I use it just enough. All right, what do we got next? Next item, another item for the studio, which is this little light right here. Now, this light does not come with this stand. You guys always see I have it on the stand here. It is just the light by itself. Now, this is also from Beautiful. This is currently $52.99. It comes with a bunch of these little gobos. I have them in this little plastic bag. But what a gobo is basically a little piece of metal or plastic that goes in front of the light. It also has a little snoot that goes onto the front of the light. The front of this light is, you can focus it, you can push in and push out. So if you pull it back, it's going to give you a wider dispersion of light. You push it in, it's going to give you a more narrow dispersion. On this side, we have a little power button. So you just press and hold that till you see the green light. Then you just rotate this really quick and that turns the light on. You have USB-C over here for charging this. Let's switch over to this camera angle. Now you guys can see there on the back wall how the light effect looks. So I'm just casting that onto a black backdrop. So there is the backdrop. You guys see that? So all I'm doing is positioning this light. So I could take this light and if I can get it set up right without knocking everything over, now I could have that cool lighting effect behind a product. So like say if I wanted to have just something to kind of dress up this scene as I'm talking about this product here, the RGB Link. Yeah, I could have the light back there on the wall, no problem. You guys see how that looks. And what's cool about this is you can change the color of the light. So that's the white variant, that's the red variant, and that is the amber variant. So you can just kind of switch through those 4 RGB colors and pick whatever works best for your scene. And again, this light is only $52.99. $52.99. I think it's a great price, especially for somebody getting started, setting up a studio. That's the whole theme of tonight's stream is Father's Day gifts, getting your father, grandfather, uncle, whatever it is, started creating content, making videos, storytelling. And yes, me and Richard were talking about this just the other night. We will have a segment starting very soon in every single stream that I will call
Story Time. Yes, Story Time.
Yes, I will tell you guys an interesting story about something that has happened in my life or in my day or whatever the case it may be. And you can take that with a grain of salt, however you will. And I'm pretty sure Richard will be using those for just a ton of bloopers. So I am not surprised at that at all. So, anyway. All right, let me get down here and see what's going on here with our comments and why they're not showing up. All right. Richard just posted a 10% coupon on something. Can't wait to hear them, Richard says. I bet you can't, bro. I bet you can't. That's why you encourage me to do it. I'm not Richard. Richard, don't think I'm falling for it, bro. Don't think I'm falling for it, okay? I know that's why you encouraging me to do it because that's just fuel to the fire for the blooper machine, okay? Anyway, All right, so anyway, let's get to this device right here. This is from our friends over at 00 Robotics. This is the Hover Air X1. This is a flying camera or a mini pocket foldable drone. This has a variety of different features built into it. This is one of those drones, guys, that has like a lot of presets. You have only 2 buttons on here. It has a 2-axis gimbal. All of your propellers are protected, so you don't have to worry about this, bumps into somebody. It's not going to hurt them. I'm gonna fly it for you guys here real quick in the stream right now. Richard, don't start. Anyway, so let's go ahead and power this guy up so I can show you what it looks like when it first turns on, and it actually tells you that it's on.
Mode, hover.
So it's currently in the hover mode, but on the top of the drone, let me show you here. You have a variety of different presets that you can switch through. So you have
Zoom out. Follow. Orbit. Bird eye. Custom. Hover.
So you got, all of those different 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different modes that's already built into the little drone. Single button to activate, and you can extend any one of those modes to a longer time. Like I have it for 30-second hover, but you can do oops, I turned it off. Hold on, y'all. Let's turn it back on. That's not a blooper, Richard.
Current mode. Hover.
So hover, so I can also press this button again.
60 seconds. Hover. 5 minutes. Hover. Continue. Hover.
So continue hover will basically, it'll just hover until you land it, okay? But we're gonna take it back to 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Hover.
All right, so we're gonna just go ahead and launch this guy and fly it here real quick in the studio. So here's our little drone. All I have to do is press this button with the circle here 1 time. And you have to have the drone facing you when it takes off, okay? So it's gonna take off now. There we go. All right, so there we are. Our drone is now flying here in the studio. And it's gonna track me. It's gonna track me wherever I move. It's gonna track me. You guys can see. And then when I'm ready to land the drone, all I have to do is put my hand out like this underneath it, and it will just come and land in my hand just like that, guys. So right now you can get this guy here with the 2 batteries, the charger, the USB-C cable, the manual, all that jazz for only $299. Okay, so definitely check it out if you're looking for a nice little drone to take with you guys, out on your adventures. All right, let me turn this light off because I'll probably need it tomorrow, and I would have forgotten to charge it again. And also let me turn this light off as well. I'm trying to keep track of stuff, Richard. I'm trying to keep track of stuff because I will get distracted and I will walk out of here in a few minutes and I'll leave all of that stuff running. And then I'll walk in here tomorrow trying to make a video and try to figure out why nothing will turn on, right? All right, so something else that was just recently sent to me, and I didn't really know I needed one until I got one, and that was a high pressure washer, okay? So if you guys saw the video I did a couple of days ago, I did the intro to the device. I went outside, I cleaned my back door, because that's the storm front side of the house. So whenever there's a lot of storms come through and there's a lot of dirt outside, it gets thrown up on the door, and then over time it just dries up. So I was able to go out there and clean the door. So let me show you guys if I can find this video real quick and play it for you from my storefront. So let me go over there. Richard. Where is the storefront, Richard? Where is the storefront video? Why is it not showing the storefront? Of course it's not showing the storefront because I want it to. So let me go and find the video. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second because I'm not going outside to get the pressure washer because it's literally out in the backyard right now. Well, not in the backyard, but on the back patio. So let me find the video. Actually, let me move this closer. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start playing the video, and then I'll kind of skip you guys through it. Let me go full screen on this, and let's switch over to our desktop. All right, so this is the pressure washer that I'm referring to. I'm not playing any audio for this, but I can just let it play through if you guys want to just see what I'm saying.
A really robust handle, as you guys can see here. Now, this does require a little bit of assembly. You also have a 16-foot hose, and everything else that you need, guys, comes in the bag. Now, it has all of the attachments and including a starter manual. All right, so here's the little starter manual that you receive in the box. So, of course, read over your starter manual. You get this little mounting piece right here on the back. That's going to be for your handle. You have a water connection little filter system here to help, ensure that when you're connecting this to a hose that you won't get any particulates going through the pressure washer. So that's really nice. This is a combination of metal and plastic. All right, so we have our 5 little spouts here. Each one of these is for something different. So as we go through these, I'll explain to you what each one of these are going to be used for. All right, guys, really simply, to attach one of your nozzles, you're just going to press down like so, and then let that seat in and just pop that back up just like that, and you're pretty much good to go. And you guys can also see here we have these little holes here. Now these are going to be for additional spouts. You can just pop those in like so, and that way you'll always have access to them whenever you want to change them out.
You
And
like
as I
that
said
pressure
before,
washer,
each
Richard?
one of these has a different use. I'll pop on the screen here what each one of these are used for. And then of course, this part here is going to connect to, so you just take it like so, press it in, line it up, rotate that into place, and that's pretty much good to go. All right, so there's your handle. Now you do have a little safety button down here as well that you'll be able to engage if you need to. So that'll prevent, the hose, the water pressure from being utilized if you don't want to use it. All right, guys, at the very front of your
All right, so I'm gonna skip forward a little
you will
bit.
find a number of things you're going to find. So that's going to just attach plug and play type of device and actually wash some things. Now I want to show you guys a couple of other things about this pressure washer that are really nice. If you turn this guy around here, you can see that we have some really nice wheels on here. Now these are not rubber, they're plastic, but they're still very sturdy. You have a retractable handle here at the top that will allow you to raise this up, and you'll be able to control, when you're walking with it or something like that. This goes up pretty high. And then down here at the base, you have your foam container, and this is where you would place whatever type of cleaning solution you wanted to use with your pressure washer. You can just fill this little container right here for that. All right, so that's pretty much it as a walk around of this device, guys. And like I said before, we also have this piece right here that's just going to clip on, and I'll show you guys where that goes once I have everything assembled. And we're going to take this outdoors, and we're going to wash off one of my sidewalks and possibly wash a car. All right, let's go.
See, this is what I was talking about, how all of that dirt accumulates on the back door. And after storms, if you don't get it off, it just keeps building up. So with one of these pressure washers, I can just go in and start removing. I did have one of those bug screens on the door. I took it off right before I started cleaning this. You guys can see what the patio looks like. I really need to spend some time on the front patio area. My friend was over, so I just used the car that was nearest to the pressure washer so I could show you guys how well you could also use this for washing a car or something like that. So there's a lot of use cases for having one of these pressure washers. So definitely check it out. If you guys, this also I think would be a great Father's Day gift.
Item that was sent out to me
would
to
have been,
review. This is
hold on, guys. That would have made a great Father's Day gift as well. So, any of these things that you guys see me talk about, I honestly believe that anyone who received these as a gift, or if you got them for yourself or just for the household, everyone is going to be happy with the tech. All right. Now, we got some tech coming up this week that should come in this week. What friends? I wasn't there. Wait. What? I gotta have more than one friend, Richard. I gotta have more than one friend. Okay, you cannot be the only guy that's hanging over my fence every other day. Okay, I gotta have more than one friend, Richard. Okay, so do not be offended. That anyway, on to the next item in the carousel. So I don't know if anybody who reaches out to me actually watches my live streams or they really watch the content I create or whatever it is. But somebody reached out to me the other day and they said, Rome, we want to send you a bubble egg waffle maker. And I'm like, who's it? What's it? What's a who's it? What? Wait, a what? I had to Google it, y'all. I didn't even know what they were talking about. I had to Google it. I had to look it up. And then I saw it. And I was like, oh.
My goodness. What? A bubble egg waffle maker? Oh my goodness. This is gonna be epic. Y'all already know. Ooh, Lordy.
Because y'all remember what I did with the waffle stuffler. So, you know, I got some free space normally over here on this desk. So we will be making some bubble egg waffles live in the studio as soon as this thing comes in. You know this, man. Now, if you're interested in one of these, this is a 110 volt waffle maker. If you've never seen one of these, I cannot recommend enough for you guys to take a look at it down in the product page. Let me just go ahead and click on it. Now, you guys know I normally don't click on the product page, but since I don't have it here yet, I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you guys here real quick with the quickness. Let's just pop over here real fast. So this is it right here. Y'all already know I'm gonna be making some crazy mad breakfast, you know, some savory, some sweet. I'm gonna be trying to put ground beef inside of this thing. I'm gonna be putting chocolate in it. Man, y'all already know. You know I'm gonna make some apple. Some apple filling. Ooh, that's gonna be good, y'all. That's gonna be good. Get some of that apple pie filling and put it inside of every. Ooh, Lordy, y'all already know. Ooh, Richard be talking about, bro. I'm gonna need one of them tow trucks to get you out of the house. Yes, Richard. There's a good chance you are correct. Yes, my waffle stuffler, I still have it. It's in the kitchen. So, you know, I still use that thing. And I might even use that tonight, you know, for some dinner. What do y'all think? You think I should make something with the waffle maker tonight? Waffle stuffler? Waffle stuffler? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that tonight. All right. So anyway, now as I was doing my research, I did discover that there's a different type of batter that people are using. You know, if you're getting these in Korea or in China or in Japan or wherever it is you may find them as street food, they make, you know, they use custard, they use concentrated milk or whatever the milk, you know I'm talking about, the canned milk, stuff like that. I'm gonna first try it with regular waffle mix. If that doesn't work, then I will always have a backup recipe. Yes, I've saved a ton of recipes, but I also found here on Amazon that you can buy the waffle mix. You can buy it here on Amazon. So I did go ahead and just throw that in the carousel in case you guys want to check it out. You know, you just want to make yourself some bubble waffles. You know, it's like Rome said they're great. And I don't know that they're great yet because I haven't tasted them, but, you know, they look amazing. And every person that I ever see talk about them say they are the bomb, okay, in a good way. So I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited, y'all. All right, what do we got next? Next item in the carousel is for my friends over at Govee. You guys know I'll be live on Govee twice this month. I think the 22nd and the 23rd, I'll be live on Govee at 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. the following day. So these are some new lights here from Govee's. These are the Govee Outdoor Clear Bulb String Lights. Now, this is your 48-foot variant here. Let me see if I can show you guys inside of this thing real quick here. Did I even open this box? Hold on. Did I open the box? Nope, of course I didn't. All right, where's my blade? I usually have my blade right next to me just in case Richard comes flying through the door or something, because y'all know you got to be able to protect yourself. You got to be able to protect yourself because crazy people will do crazy things. All right, so let me see. There we go. All right. All right, let's take this down to the desk. I'm gonna show you guys what you get in the box. What's in the box? What's in the box, my babies? All right, so here are the bulbs. This is kind of what they look like. And you get 40 something feet of these. Of course, you know, you have your other accessories and everything in this little box right here. So I'm probably going to hang these somewhere in the studio because I don't, you know, I'm not going to put them outdoors. But I think this would be a cool little accent light because, you know, this is Govee. So you're going to get the full function of the lights, you know, with the Govee app and being able to change the colors, control this with Meta, control this with Alexa, control this with Google Home. 48 feet of these lights, you know, you guys probably will only see like a couple of feet of them just when I have them, you're like hanging over maybe this black backdrop over here or something, but I'll still probably use them. So, you know, there you go. So if you're looking for some cool summertime lights, you know, backyard barbecue lights like what Richard's doing tonight, these could be some really, really cool lights. And like I said, you can use the Govee smart app, you know, to set up the different scenes. You can turn these on and off with Google Home, Alexa, Meta, all of that kind of cool jazz. So yeah, if that's something that you guys might be into, you know, definitely check it out. But like I said, I'll be live on Govee's channel on the 22nd and 23rd. So if you want to see a lot of the other lights, the new lights that are coming out for the season, make sure you're following me. Make sure you're following Govee because, of course, you know, I'll do a pre-show and then we'll go live on Govee's channel then soon after the same night. So, you know, y'all know how we do. But anyway, you can get these lights right now here on Amazon, guys, for $99.99. You're going to need more than a knife. Yeah, you can believe that, bro. I got more than a knife, Richard. I got more than a knife. Okay, so I ain't scared. I ain't scared of you, Richard. Okay, I got more than a knife. You can believe that. In case you come through, I'm ready, bro. I'm ready like Freddy. Okay. You don't want the smoke, Richard. You don't want the smoke, okay? You don't. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know. You know, you'll walk over, but you'll limp back. You're going to walk over, you're going to limp back. I'm just saying, okay? Because you know, I went to the Walmart School of Jedi, so I'm all about that. Just so you know, okay? I don't want you to be surprised. I don't want you to be surprised, bro. I'm trying to warn you in advance. Alrighty then. All right, what do we got next? Next item in the carousel is probably here in my desk somewhere if my son didn't take all of them. Okay, here we go. So these are some of the Govee smart plugs. You guys see these? So these are really nice if you don't have smart devices already, like a smart kettle or a smart fan or a smart light or whatever it is, and you want to be able to, you know, set, you know, time schedules to turn these things on and off, like maybe an outdoor light or an entry light or whatever the case it may be. These really come in handy. Now, for only $24.64, you can actually get 4 of these in a bundle. Let's take a close look at it. So this is what it looks like. It looks like somebody smiling at you or surprised, but but yeah, you can get a couple of these guys and put them around the house. These are going to be great also for your kids' rooms, your senior, you know, family members, your senior family members' rooms as well. If you want to time things, you know, for them to help them out throughout their day, where it turns on a light maybe in the hallway before they wake up and their normal scheduled time of getting up. So you could have something like that preset for them, which is excellent. I think that's a wonderful thing to do for someone. So definitely check these out. Another really outstanding Govee product. So if you guys are into these type of techy things, you can find this right now in the carousel. And of course, you can always find these over on my storefront because I always talk about these things. I've created tons of videos on them and I have a lot of personal experience actually using them. My son was in the stream much earlier in the first part of the stream, and I think he still has like 2 or 3 of those that he uses, you know, for some of his electronics in his room at his home. And I know he's a huge fan of anything Govee, just like I am. You know, I have Govee lights on my television. I usually have the Govee curtain lights on behind me, but because of the change the camera angle, you guys can't really see them. But normally I would have the Govee lights on back there so you guys would see, you know, all the crazy things that I normally do during the stream. But I'll have those on during the Govee stream. So if you guys want to come through and see some of the cool designs I might come up with, you know, just for that stream, you know, I'm gonna do something special for it. Y'all know how we do. All right, guys, we got one item left in the stream. Smokey's about to lose his mind because Smokey's ready for dinner. So let's go ahead and get to it. The last item in the stream, guys, are these drawstring backpacks. You guys know I talk about these things all the time. The drawstring backpacks you can get right here on Amazon, guys, for only $9.99. These are great for reusable storage. You can use them as reusable shopping bags, day trip bags, whatever. Now, of course, myself and a lot of people that I'm affiliated with through my motorcycle club, through my community, outreach, through other organizations that I'm affiliated with, we buy these drawstring backpacks and we fill them with items that we purchase right here on Amazon, guys. We buy toothpaste, toothbrush, deodorant, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, pens, pencils. You know, we'll buy toilet paper, socks, underwear, anything that can fit inside of one of these backpacks. And we, separate it, throughout however many backpacks we have and how much supplies we have. And then we split these up amongst us as a group. And we always have one of these in our car, truck, back seat of the car, whatever it is. So if we run into someone at a stop sign, at a convenience store, on the side of the road, and they're flying a sign, asking for help, asking for work, asking for food, we just pass them off one of these bags that has a ton of items that they'll be able to utilize for themselves personally. And one of the things that I found that is amazing when you're dealing with the homeless community, I have interviewed quite a few of them. You would be amazed how many of them will look through one of these bags and start looking at things like, oh, yes, I could use that. Oh, yes, I could use that. But I know somebody else that could benefit from that. So I'm going to gift this to someone else. I'm going to gift this to another person, another homeless person. And they are already thinking with that kind of kindness in their heart that they're going to take the items that you gave to them to give to someone else, guys. So that is that pebble in the pond I'm always talking about, that ripple effect, that love going out into the universe, your inner light shining onto someone else that inspires them to shine their light as well. Yes, you see all those good things happening. And sometimes it can start with something as small as and as insignificant as one of these little drawstring backpacks with a few items inside of it, sharing it with someone and making their day, making their world a better place. Yeah, you can make it happen, my babies. You can make it happen. All right, guys, if you have seen any angel numbers today, go ahead and drop them down in the comments. I just typed 555. I was trying to type 555. All right, there we go. That was my angel numbers for the day. I did save it on one of my phones. So usually whenever I see the angel numbers, whether it's on television, on my phone, on my clock, or whatever, I'll screenshot it or take a picture of it so that I have it as a personal record. If you guys don't know what angel numbers are, go ahead and Google it, because they may mean something totally different to you than it may mean to me or Richard or Terry or Hope or Renee or, whomever. Okay. But that is usually, most people believe it to be the universe speaking to you throughout the day, trying to, reassure you of something or warn you of something or encourage you to do something. So whichever the case it may be, definitely check it out. Let me go back over here to YouTube here real quick. Let me see. I see Francis and family just stopped in. Let's see. We also have Hope said my favorite is the little water pressure washer. So Hope likes that water pressure washer as well, Richard. So you're in good company there. All right, my babies, it's time for me to go ahead and wrap it up. Smokey is pacing outside of the space. You probably can hear him clacking over there. So it's time for me to feed him, make some dinner, get ready for dinner. I'll be back here on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. CT time, Texas time. I'll be back here Tuesday night. And hopefully we will have that bubble waffle maker back right here in the studio, my babies. You know, we're gonna make some waffles, y'all. So I gotta get the ground beef ready. I gotta get the apple pie stuffing ready. I'm gotta have the whole thing ready. Okay, I'm gonna have it ready. So when we go live, you know, I'm gonna make the waffles, y'all. I'm gonna make the bubble waffles for the peoples. Okay, I'm gonna make them for the peoples, but I'm gonna eat them. I'm making them for the peoples, y'all, but I'm gonna eat them on your behalf, okay? I'm not gonna tell y'all what Christina Nietzsche says. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna mail it to you. This is for you. Yeah, it's made with you in mind, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna say, get in my belly. That's what I'm gonna say. So I'm not even gonna try to tell y'all I made it for you because y'all know I did not, boo-boo. All right, y'all, let's do that thing. Do that thing. Go! No, I have no leftovers, bro. I have no leftovers. Okay, no, there will be no leftovers. Okay, no, none, nada, not even a crumb. I will be checking under the desk. Okay, there will be no crumbs, bro. There will be no crumbs. Okay, so maybe I'll make something for you, Richard, and I'll ship it to you. I'll ship it to you. Yeah. We'll see how that goes, you know. All right, guys. Also, starting very soon, we're going to be doing a after show. So that means since I'm streaming live on multiple platforms, so for those who don't know, now you know, when we end the stream here on Amazon, the stream will keep rolling over on YouTube and Facebook and over on TikTok. And then we'll be doing some other stuff. Maybe we'll do some gameplay. Maybe we'll do some gifting or whatever the case is going to be. So make sure to invite your family, your friends, your Bigfoots, your Gorillazillas, you know, whatever it is, your dogs, your cats, your frogs, your ducks. Bring them all, babies. Bring them all. Bring them to the party, y'all, because we're going to be getting it on. Y'all know what I'm saying? So anyway, and I also need to clean a lot of stuff out of this house. So it's going to be a lot of gifting going on this year. Y'all can believe that. Because I need the space, my babies. I need the space, okay? But anyway, it's time for me to say the magic words. But before I do, don't forget to follow my man Richard over on TikTok, because if you guys have not seen the bloopers that me and him are always joking about, you are truly, truly missing out. Make sure you're following Richard over on TikTok. Richard.
Drop that link.
Drop that link for them, Richard, so that they can find you and, yeah, laugh along just like I do. Because, I mean, a lot of these bloopers will be about me. And, man, I'm telling you, I be just laughing my heart out, bro. I be laughing with my whole chest because they are hilarious, okay? They're hilarious. So definitely give my man Richard a follow. And if you're not already following me on TikTok, we're going to have words. But anyway, make sure you're following me, Richard, Allen, others over on TikTok. I think Christina Nietzsche might still be on TikTok, and a few others here on the Amazon platform are also on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook. Give them all some love, guys. Show them some love. You know how we do. We share the love, my babies. We share the love. All right, it's time for me to say them magic words. Peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out. Boom. I am out of here. I love y'all, but I got to go. Love y'all. Peace. I'm out.